Hello, my name is Ray Lopez, and I'm your City Council representative for District 6. It's my pleasure to welcome you to the program. Today, I'm very excited to have our guest Eric Cooper of the San Antonio Food Bank and Victor Ayala from the Department of Community Initiatives, better known as DCI. We're going to be discussing the very important issue of meeting the basic nutritional needs of our community by speaking with our first guest today, Eric Cooper, who, as I said, is President and CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank. The San Antonio Food Bank is a nonprofit organization that serves as a clearinghouse by receiving and storing truckloads of donated food, produce, and other grocery products. These items are then distributed in manageable quantities to over 500 agencies that need help here in the city. Now I'd like to welcome to the show Eric Cooper. Eric, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to see you.
Well, it's great to be here. Obviously, you are our councilman, so we appreciate all you do for us, and you've been no stranger to the food bank before office to now being in office, and I just want to take the time to thank you for who you are and what you do for our community.
Well, thanks a lot, Eric. I appreciate the comment, but the reality of things is that I think the work that you guys are doing at the food bank, and it isn't just you, it's really you and the community, the things you're facilitating into the community. And in a minute, maybe we can talk about that and how you do that outreach and who the folks are out there that are contributing, because I know over the years in all the work that we've done, having a good corporate citizenship of businesses getting involved has always been the key to success. How do you go about doing that? How do you recruit folks to get involved?
Well, you're hitting it. I mean, we are truly a reflection of the community. And as you mentioned, the San Antonio Food Bank feeds over 500 nonprofit organizations. We actually have a service territory of 16 counties. And throughout those 16 counties, these agencies fulfill their mission, but where they need food, they withdraw from the food bank. And so through that network of agencies, we feed about 58,000 people each week. And then we have our own programs that target specific populations of need. But it's the community that supports us, whether it's a church or club, school, foundation, individuals and families. And they can do a lot. I mean, whether it's coming out to volunteer and spending some time at the food bank, making a financial contribution, donating a non-perishable canned good, or just raising their voice, learning about the issue. There's so much around public policy issues and just the environment of hunger that if people will lend their voice in our behalf, we can get a lot accomplished.
Well, that's great. I know that you're doing a great job with that. As the economy has been kind of in a downturn, not doing well, a lot of folks have been hitting hard times. And I know that, the resources that you provide have been, critical, vital to many, many families. And as that growth increases, how do you communicate the additional need to the community? Obviously, as the need in the community increases, you have to have more folks supporting you. And so how do you go about doing that?
Well, it's a tough balance because obviously it's an environment that tends to drive up the need. So more families in crisis coming to us for support in an environment where businesses are having to cut back because of the economy. They can't do as much as they used to do, and so they're being that much more strategic in where they're making gifts. And so the food bank sometimes falls in that gap of the cutbacks to the increased demand. And I tell you what we're doing is just really trying to improve our strategy, getting the word out. And with this recession, I think a lot more people can relate to kind of basic needs. And so, when it comes to where do you give, your philanthropic gifts, people are looking to the food bank, and it's helping us try to keep up with demand. But to be honest, we're a little bit anxious, and so an opportunity to spend some time with you today and share with the community the current environment at the food bank, we hope will build that awareness, and folks will be able to say, look, this is something that I need to get involved with. It's so easy. Just come volunteer. We're great stewards of the resources that we have. We've been noted as one of the most efficient nonprofits in San Antonio. Our financials and our audit are on our website. About 2% administrative overhead at the food bank, and we leverage a dollar pretty well. This last year, for every $1 we took in, we could put out $13 worth of food.
That's fantastic.
I know. I wish my bank could deliver those kind of.
Well, when you find that bank, let me know.
Exactly.
I'll join you there.
Exactly. So, it's just It's an open call. I mean, I think we're trying to help San Antonians understand that there's a lot of families in need. Texas was just ranked with the second most hungry people in our state.
My gosh.
Arkansas has the most. Texas number 2. I mean, these are numbers we don't want to be proud of, right? I mean, we want to be number 1 in football and basketball and stuff like that, but we don't want to be number 1 or number 2 in hunger. We've got a lot of poverty in our community, and so poverty yields hunger. You know, hunger is a symptom of poverty, and so you know, the food bank has very comprehensive programs, not just addressing hunger, but that holistic approach that affects poverty.
Right. Well, I know that food drives are one of the, I guess, the staples, if you will, of what you guys do. I know that you know, food drives like Food for SA have been successful. What other things and what other food drives have you been doing that have worked?
Well, I tell you, right now the holidays is a great time to get involved because there's so many folks that are doing things. You know, we're going to have a partnership with IBC Bank, and there's going to be an opportunity with Ken's 5, educating people about where they can make those donations. But it's the spirit of the holidays. People want to give. They just want to make it convenient. And so, you know, you can go to our website at safoodbank.org and learn about the different events and promotions and opportunities to get involved. But we want to make it easy. You know, you can make a donation online, or you can drop off your non-perishable canned goods at a convenient location. You can learn more about where those locations are by just going to our website.
Great. Well, I know that you're doing an awful lot of things in San Antonio, as we've been talking about today. I know that there's also, tell me a little bit about is it the Turkey Challenge, the 5K Turkey Challenge?
You bet. So, you know, the Turkey Challenge is a great annual event. It happens Thanksgiving morning. And, you know, our goal this year was to raise 18,000 turkeys. And so we're hoping to make sure that no one goes without. When we think of the holidays, right? It's the opportunity to sit down with family and loved ones, friends, around a meal and exchange, you know, in conversation and hopes and dreams. But for a lot of families here in San Antonio, they lack the ingredients to bring them to the table. They lack that Thanksgiving turkey or that Christmas ham or whatever the item might be. And so the food bank really feels like if we can collect those items, we can not only nourish their bodies with the nutrition of food, but we can nourish their minds and their souls with being able to have that kind of opportunity to get their family together and really have some memories that are happy. You know, it might sound a little cheesy, but we don't want there to be hungry holidays. We want there to be happy holidays.
Sure.
For our fellow San Antonians.
Well, I know that there are a lot of things that are going on, and I try to stay on top of most of the stuff that's happening. But something that was in my notes here and I wasn't familiar with, but I'm sure you're going to enlighten me. Tell me about the Main Plaza Farmers Market.
Well,
what are you guys doing there?
I tell you, well, a couple of things, and I'm going to go a little bit long on this. So you know, as you've been out to the food bank and you've seen our call center and the fact that we've got folks there from 8 to 8, Monday through Saturday, accepting calls from people in their time of crisis, connecting them to where they can get food, but also connecting them to the SNAP program or healthcare programs like CHIP and Medicaid. You know, we try to make that a one-stop shop. And so one of the things that we are trying to do is try to connect people to healthy food. Through our senior food box program, we have our senior farmers market, and now through Main Plaza, we actually have a farmers market here. It's actually the first farmers market in the state of Texas that's able to use the EBT Lone Star card for low-income families. They can redeem that card here for fresh vegetables from some of the farmers that have come here to Main Plaza. And so it's just a very cool way for us to be able to get access for low-income families and the rest of the community. This is a farmers market for everyone, but strategically placed here in downtown, where maybe there isn't a immediate access to a grocery store, and we're hoping that it's going to be a big success.
Well, that's great, and that's very important, particularly in this area. Let me shift gears just a little bit. You know, I got to tell you this, that, you know, I was surprised when I first walked in, and I actually sampled some of the food that you guys were cooking. And I think most people just had this vision that what they do is they put together some meals, and it's kind of like frozen food kind of stuff. And indeed, it isn't. Indeed, it is culinary level. I mean, these guys and gals are doing a fantastic job. Tell us a little bit about the kitchen.
Well, Councilman Lopez, I mean, you hit it. I mean, I think that, you know, food is such an incredible, powerful tool, right? It yields not only nourishment to the body, but when we eat food, we think of memories, we think of experiences. It's dignity, it's culture, it's love, it's passion, and so when we're delivering hot meals to those that are hungry, we don't want it to be a bland, you know, blah. We want it to have the same presentation that you might find at a local restaurant. Right. It truly is our privilege to serve someone in their time of need. And so through our community kitchen program, we combine the need for a hot meal with culinary arts training. We've got phenomenal partnerships here locally with the Culinary Institute of America, St. Philip's College. These are great institutions providing culinary education. And so at the food bank, we're given that introductory level opportunity to anyone that's unemployed or underemployed, needing a job, to come into our kitchen. They go through a 16-week culinary arts training, and then once they graduate, we look to place them in food service jobs throughout our community. They're moving from dependence to independence. They're working with chefs, creating incredible culinary meals that then go out, whether to the homeless at the Haven for Hope campus or through our kids' cafes. And I tell you, it's a pleasure for me as I watch someone in their time of crisis, someone in their time of need, sitting down to a meal that's you know, prepared with love, but from a culinarian that has an expertise in cooking to make it good, nutritious. It's just a powerful thing to witness.
Well, there's no question about it, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about those kinds of things that you guys are doing out there. I continuously hear very positive things about the food that's being served and the services that you have. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to ask, because you guys are doing such a wonderful job, I'd like to have you come back on the show at a later time. We're probably going to be wrapping up here soon, so we won't have time to go into a couple of other things that are very, very interesting in what you're doing. But I'd like to ask you to come back.
I will do it, and again, thank you for your leadership. And in the short run, if folks go to our website, safoodbank.org, they can learn a lot about what we're up to, and we look forward to coming back and sharing more with them.
Well, thank you, Eric. And stay with us. We'll be right back after the short break and talk to Victor Ayala from DCI.
I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go. L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
I'm Ray Lopez, your District 6 Council representative here at Tom Slick Park, ready to enjoy the day with my family. Our parks offer a wide variety of fitness opportunities for the entire family. My wife and I want to lead by example and teach our grandchildren the value of an active and healthy lifestyle. We invite you to bring your children and grandchildren out to the park. You'll make memories and put them on the right track to fitness. Join the Parks and Recreation family. Get active and get fit, San Antonio.
Cassandra Mearsong.
Excuse me, have a seat.
Hey, have a seat.
Stay down. Everybody stand clear, ma'am. I need you to back up, okay?
2 out of 3 people with diabetes die of heart attack or stroke.
Okay. Everybody stand clear.
That was his wake-up call. This is yours. The good news is, you can lower the risk of heart attack or stroke.
Sir.
Ask your healthcare provider how. To learn more, go to diabetesactnow.org.
Welcome back to the program. I'm your host, District 6 City Councilman Ray Lopez. We're going to be talking with Victor Ayala, Interim Social Services Manager for DCI, who is here today to discuss the recently approved comprehensive senior center that will be located in our very own District 6. We're very excited and looking forward to all the information you're going to share with us. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, listen, I know we've had an opportunity over the course of the last few months to talk about the senior center and how we're going to get there, and not only the District 6 Senior Center, but really the initiatives that are going on at the city level on addressing how we manage comprehensively our senior programs and how we bring those levels of services and increase those levels of services, indeed, to our seniors. So thank you very much for coming here this afternoon. I'm hoping we get a chance to talk about all those things, but I got a feeling we got more to talk about than we're going to have time. So let's get started. Tell me a little bit about, the most important thing, I guess, for us in District 6 is tell us a little bit about the District 6 Center and where it'll be located.
Absolutely, Councilman. It's very exciting again to have a facility at, it's going to be at the Culebra Crossing, 8353 Culebra. It's where the Fontainebleau Catering Banquet Hall has been at. A great facility, about 29,000 square feet, that are really going to be able to meet the needs of the seniors in the area.
So from a construction perspective, when do you expect the construction phase to start and finish? Kind of a timeline. Can you kind of sketch that out for us a bit?
Well, I'll definitely say that we're looking at for sure a springtime opening. As you can see, I'm just kind of waiting on an exact date. Once we can have the go-ahead, the process, a 60 to 90-day construction period would beat what we'll be
and that's what's
looking
important
at,
for folks to recognize is that really the construction cycle is relatively short. 60 to 90 days, of which means that we'll be opening up in the springtime, which I can't imagine a better time than to be celebrating ribbon cutting right around the springtime whenever we're all appreciating everything that's going on around us. So we're anxious and looking forward to it. I know that, as I said earlier, we've met many, many times, and we put together our own District 6 Senior Advisory Board.
Right.
And I know that you've had an opportunity. As a matter of fact, we had lunch not too long ago with those folks, and they got a chance to go tour it. What kind of feedback are you getting?
Well, the seniors from your district are very excited about the upcoming
and opinionated.
They are. They're right. Correct. And they and it looks like they want to be able to make the center their own center. There might be some opportunities to see, okay, what are other centers doing? But let's make sure to make this our own. I want to be able to have music at our center. I want to be able to have some arts and crafts. I want to be able to improve the health and wellness of myself and my friends here. So there'll be a variety of opportunities, but really we would like to encourage people to come in and let staff know what they'd like to see at the center and how we can improve.
Well, good. Well, I know that, as I said earlier, they're quite opinionated. And they're letting you know, I'm sure, because they're telling me.
Right.
Now, I also know that this is somewhat of a unique arrangement in a partnership with WellMed.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, the City of San Antonio and WellMed Medical Management are going to be having at the center, it'll be a co-location of services. So the City of San Antonio will be managing the nutrition center piece and case management and some social services available for seniors, where WellMed Medical Management will be facilitating and coordinating health and wellness services. On site, there will be a separate WellMed clinic, but that's adjacent to the senior center. You don't necessarily, you do not have to be a WellMed, patient to be able to take advantage of this center. Anybody can come in, any senior can come in 60 plus and take advantages of the services that are available to them, and it'll be just a great opportunity.
Well, yeah, and talk a little bit more about that, the 60 plus thing now.
Sure.
60 for one of the spouses, the other one isn't. Talk a little bit about maybe even caregivers that might
Sure.
come in. So, like, who can come in and sign up? All I know is that I passed the 60-year mark. I'll
Are
be
you at that
61.
point?
Yeah, I'll be 61 soon, and I'll be, I'm very qualified to join the senior center, which I'm looking forward to.
Great, great. Well, there'll be different opportunities, and in general, it's a 60 or a spouse of a registered participant who's 60 plus. But absolutely, if there's a caregiver who would be making it easier for a 60-plus-year-old individual to take part, then they could also come in as well. For the meal program, and for most of the services there, you're going to see that the requirement would be either 60 or the spouse of a 60-year-old individual, and then again, a caregiver.
So it's one of the
would be
two, and the
welcome.
couple is 60, and they can. If one of them comes, they can bring their caregiver, and they'd be able to participate in somewhat of a limited fashion, but still participate. Because I think a big piece of this is, of course, the nutrition program, so what? Talk to me a little bit about that, and how many meals do you think we'll be serving, and that kind of stuff.
Sure, sure. Well, you're going to look at a very nice, large, spacious dining area. We want to be able to meet the needs there, so we might start off with 100, 150, 200. We could see it grow to 250 to almost 300 seating capacity for the dining hall. So that's really exciting. We have other centers around town that are approaching 200. A couple of the senior one-stops that are approaching about 200 serving capacity. So if we build it, they will come. We hope that they will, that the individuals, we want to be able to open the doors for as many individuals as possible.
Well, if the response that I'm hearing is any indication, believe me, they are coming.
Great.
So that's not that isn't a problem. Now, tell me a little bit more about. We know at 60 or one of the spouses is 60, they can attend.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about the cost. What's involved as far as are there any costs? What are they?
Great. Well, through the Older Americans Act, the seniors are, the providers are asked to give the opportunity to a senior to contribute a donation, and the suggested donation that we've had is about 50 cents for the meal program. So really, there's no cost to come in, and there's no set cost for the individual to take part in the meal program. If they'd like to give a donation for the meal, they could do so, but it wouldn't be required.
And the recommended amount is 50 cents. So.
That's about right.
Right. So that's good. That's a great opportunity, and I mean certainly the quality of the meals I know have always been good, and certainly 50 cents it's probably a bargain, an incredible bargain.
Sure.
Let's talk a little bit about kind of the the center and what we're hoping it kind of contributes to the community. I mean, what kind of relationship do you think we're going to have with the community that's there now? Because my understanding is one of the reasons we're putting the center there is that it's probably one of the least served from the city's perspective, and yet the largest growing demographic, or one of the largest growing demographics. So how do you think that's going to work?
Well, that's right, Councilman. You all have done a great job in researching where do we have a very dense senior population, and where do we have an opportunity to have a center. So at this location, it's just primed to be able to have a center to serve the community. And I think it'll do a lot for, one, strengthening the individual, but also strengthening the community. We're going to be able to have people come in and improve their health and wellness, but we're also going to be able to have people come in and build friendships, and I think build the community. These seniors who come in, I don't think they're just going to frequent the senior center, but they may come by and take a look. Oh, look, there happens to be a dollar store nearby, or there happens to be a couple of other places. So I think there'll be an opportunity for that neighborhood, for that area to grow, and for folks from your district, and if folks want to come by from other parts of San Antonio, they'll be welcome to do so. So it'll be a very positive change for that area.
Well, that's great. I know that some folks are going like, the best way to tell them where it is it's right next to the bingo parlor.
There you go.
They go like, cool.
Well,
we can go to one and then go to the other later in the evening. Speaking of that, what are the hours of operation?
Right. It'll be at least 8 hour a day facility. So right now, we could be looking at a 7:45 to 4:30 opening time frame, but it will definitely be more than just a morning time center. You're going to have activities, classes, exercise classes, etc., going on throughout the day. So that's for sure.
That's great. And you talked about, I think you said 300 from a serving perspective.
Correct.
What is the size of the center, I mean, from a capacity perspective? Because this is quite a large center relative to the other ones, right? I mean,
That's
in
right.
space.
Right.
So what do you think the capacity is for the center itself?
Well, we could see 500 plus people taking part, and especially if we're going to be open all day, some people may want to come in and get on an exercise machine, a treadmill, take advantage of a class, maybe eat, maybe not, and then be on their way. So throughout the course of the day, I can see us having 500 individuals coming by, but we're not going to let the space be a factor. I think we'll be able to work so that a variety of people at different times can come through and take advantage of the center.
Good, good.
Sure.
Now, I know one of the concerns when we were kind of interviewing and talking and having the focus groups was folks that were in one center now and saying, gee, you guys are getting a new center, there's a neat center coming up, and we're not getting one. And the reality of it is this center, virtually anybody can go to. Is that correct, or how does that work?
That's correct. You know, in 2007, the first multi-service, all full-day center at the Bob Ross Community Center was built, and we saw people were coming from various council districts, every council district. Since then, a few more have been built, and this will be, the 7th multi-service center in our community. So anybody's welcome, and they're also welcome to continue going to their current senior center. And if they said, you know what, I really like to go on Wednesdays to the District 6 multi-service center, they'll be welcome to do that. We're not going to close the doors if they're from a different part of town. Anybody from our county is welcome to come by and take advantage of the center.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, we're certainly all looking forward to it. And kind of in closing, if somebody wanted to go get more information on the center and more details, perhaps just in general about senior services that the City of San Antonio is providing, where would you send them?
I would have folks call our office, call us directly at 207-7172. The city's website under Community Initiatives, Senior Services, but definitely 207-7172.
Well, Victor, thank you very much for coming out, and I am actually looking forward to the grand opening, to the ribbon cutting, as well as the construction and just this thing, how it's going to take a life of its own and evolve. And there's no question that those seniors are just as anxious as I am. So thank you for tuning in, and I'd like to once again thank my guests for taking the time to provide us with a very important information and exciting information. I look forward to our upcoming shows, and until next time, I'm your City Councilman Ray Lopez, and thank you, San Antonio.
I really want to show you something.
1, 2, ready, go. L-O-V-E. It's a mystery. All is love. Is love.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
I'm Ray Lopez, your District 6 Council representative here at Tom Slick Park, ready to enjoy the day with my family. Our parks offer a wide variety of fitness opportunities for the entire family. My wife and I want to lead by example and teach our grandchildren the value of an active and healthy lifestyle. We invite you to bring your children and grandchildren out to the park. You'll make memories and put them on the right track to fitness. Join the Parks and Recreation family. Get active and get fit, San Antonio.
This is the hand that sows the seed, that grows the forest, that gives shape to the wind, that carries the kite, that is flown by the child, that is loved by the woman, that gives to EarthShare, that supports the hand.
EarthShare is the workplace giving program bringing the leading environmental groups together. Support EarthShare, support them all. To learn more, please visit our website.
Yes, ready. Go get it.
Oh, come on, Randy. Animal shelter, here I come. And no, I'm not crazy or emotionally damaged. That's a stereotype. I just belong to a total loser. I'm a good dog. So if you want a pet, adopt. And if you see Randy, tell him he dropped his wallet.
Visit San Antonio and be moved.
the